now streaming, everyone.
Yo, 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 guys, it's me, the spawner of the glass.
Yo, Beast. Inferno, please spin the
Yeah,
glass.
the glass has been spun.
Oh shit. There are no better glass spinners than Inferno Hellfire. Anyway, I'm gonna load the safe.
Okay.
What the fuck did I do? Okay. Zen, can you say something?
Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, I think it's not that my audio is too low. It's more like Inferno is too loud. Hold on, let me.
Yeah, because I talk kind of loudly. People tend to tell me that.
I mean, same, but I'm trying to fix that
Oh,
myself. Okay.
let me lower my input volume.
No, I already
Don't do
did
that.
yours.
No,
Don't
no.
do it. I already lowered yours, so
You're
I don't
you're
want to lower it
perfect
higher.
the way you are. Don't change.
Don't change.
Don't kill yourself, haha.
No, don't kill yourself. You're so sexy, haha.
Don't kill yourself. You're too sexy to die.
There's still glasses that need to be spun, dude.
True. Hold on. I think I found the funny image.
What is the funny image that you're
I
talking
found
about?
it.
Yeah,
There you go,
window
guys.
window has been opened.
I closed my window so my neighbors wouldn't hear me yelling. Guys, check this out.
One,
No,
my
don't
neighbors,
please.
my neighbors don't care, and two, it's way too hot.
It's because of me. I'm hot.
No, you're not. You would never be hot.
True. It is quite sad how it works. It's fine, gentlemen.
Anyway, get into the game.
Yep. Load. We have loaded. Who's this?
I'll
Inferno,
wait.
it's you.
Yeah, I know. I already start. You dumbass.
Mhm.
I waited to give her even more hope, but I stopped myself, knowing that it would only make things worse if I was wrong. Even though Ida would somehow be alive in a month, her fate had already been shown to us. She would end up dead in the Crystal Floor's cabinet, even if she had to travel there from a month in the future. At least that was what I thought until I remembered the two Naomi bodies defied that belief. I believe that no matter what had happened to Ida, being dead inside the cabin had to be the way to end their path. However, two identical corpses in that the Sekimeiya could have some a sway even after death. That was what the actual hope Erna had to rely on, as the recording didn't guarantee a bright future, and it turned out to be even if it turned out to be legitimate.
What the?
And that is what's then.
There's a fly.
Kill
He jump
it.
scared me. He
You
jump
should
scared
kill
me.
yourself.
A fly jump scare.
Zen, can you speak?
Hello.
Inferno,
Yo
can
yo
you
yo
speak?
guys. Yo guys, it's me Zenchi in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, now Zen, speak again.
I'm kind of sleepy today.
Okay. I had to lower Inferno's volume a bit more.
And that is, and I feel a bubble of hope growing in my head.
It is how it is. Now, I will lower this. Okay, I think we're perfect. I think these audio settings should be perfect for everyone.
Are we? Okay, let me look at the stream.
The second I had
Chungus.
That shit is
It's like-
way too quiet.
What is?
Everybody's way too quiet.
I don't know what to do, Zen.
Increase people's audio?
Okay. Speak.
Hello?
hello.
Great. Okay, I
That's
think this
perfect.
works. Okay,
That's
now it should work.
No,
The
you're
second I had-
you're still too quiet.
I'm too quiet?
Yeah.
Okay, filters.
Hold on, Inferno. The
Gain.
Sekimeiya. Don't touch this, Sekimeiya.
Don't touch the second. What if I teleport?
Okay, I think it should be better now.
No, it's not.
It's not. Did I not get louder though? I should have gotten
Nope.
louder. Did I get louder?
That get louder.
Did I get louder?
Oh. Hold on. Increase it a little bit more.
Okay. It's currently plus 6. So sorry, plus 4. I'll make it like plus 7.
Ain't no way, it's +7 on block?
Yes,
Yeah,
my
that's
volume gain is plus 7 on block. It is how it is.
That's so
Make
crazy.
it +9. That's good.
Okay. I don't know. Now you guys are gonna be like overshadowed by my voice. Fair enough,
this is
speak.
perfect. This is perfect.
Hello.
This is perfect.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Whoopa! Whoopa! Okay,
Go,
Zen,
go,
are
go,
you
go.
like listening to the stream right now?
Yeah, I did. Just I don't know how close.
Okay, hopefully it'll be
Great.
fine.
Alright, we go, white boy. Come on, you're Romanian. You can do this.
True, true.
Oh my god.
Why do you do this?
The Sekimeiya had the apparent effect when it had touched Island's dead body, even though we might not have seen it immediately. If, as I speculate with Naomi, that had created a living version of her at an earlier point in time, my thoughts were directed to Mia once again.
Thank you. But that bubble popped as soon as images of a burning piece of flesh appeared in my mind. The Sekimeiya had to exist somewhere 2 weeks in the past, but how could I touch a body that had been blown to pieces? I forced myself to keep thinking. The three of us
Stop
pres-
thinking.
Huh?
Stop thinking. That's what he says. Not keep thinking.
Huh? Oh, I forced myself to stop thinking. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
The three of us present in the room had all lost someone very dear to us, and somehow we all silently prayed that they could be brought back. It was cruel to consider that there was a culprit somewhere who had killed at least once, possessing a higher knowledge of how the Sekimeiya worked. Exactly what all of us needed the most.
It's my fault, isn't it? Doesn't matter who did it. I brought her here. What? I bought the tickets for today to make Isla happy, and instead should have been me. Why would anyone want to hurt Isla? I had no idea how to respond to something as dark as that, and Shiria clearly didn't either. We lapsed into a silence for a few minutes. Part of Erna, I was sure, believed that Isla was still alive somewhere, while another part accepted that she was dead and already mourned her. Do you know about Akashic Power?
Oh god, it's gonna be like
Akash-
another new plot device. Hold on.
Bro, we're gonna more backstory, but this time by Erina,
Erna.
not Shibuya.
Now Erna's gonna be like important in the story now that her child is dead.
The amusement park? Yes.
I heard about it. It was an amusement park a few hours away from Yushibana. Apparently, it was surrounded by mountains and competed worldwide for the largest park in size. The selling point was that it contained all possible configurations of every ride in the world. But despite my low interest, it had piqued my curiosity more than once.
You might have thought Isla was obsessed with the gems downstairs, but that didn't even come close to how much she wanted to go there. She brought it up times, but it's really expensive, and I've always been a bit afraid of malfunctions. I was going to have more money than usual this month. Since it's the end of the year, I decided to finally give in and surprise her with a trip after Christmas. I told her about it less than a week ago, in case she preferred to hold off with the money and plan a trip during the summer instead. Even though she was really excited at first, she told me that she didn't want to go. But she said that she didn't want to leave her friend alone while we went to have fun. At one point, she also said that she would only come to see the Sekimeiya because the tickets had already been bought, and that she didn't want to make me waste money, even though she'd started to talk about her friend before he bought them. I told you the other ways in which her behavior changed, right? I forgot one. Sometimes she hid something from me. A small object, I believe.
Is she
Huh?
Shadowheart?
Who?
From Baldur's Bald Gates 5.
Bald Gate?
There's like a character who has like this funny little cube, and she doesn't want anyone else to touch it. I don't know what the deal of it is yet. Haven't gone that far.
That's what I felt. I noticed that a few times she'd keep her hand in her fist for a long time. In a fist for a long time. If I asked her to show me what she was hiding, she would run off, so I had to ignore it. It must have been something very small. I can't get it out of my head. Whatever happened to Isla started weeks ago and I never realized it. 7.
All of that was difficult to respond to, so I stayed quiet. However, Shiroya said something far from the shallow answers I kept to myself.
Hold on, Erina? I might know who Isla's friend was.
Also, then you got really loud all of a sudden.
You know me.
I think he's actually audible now. I think this is better.
Ah,
Yeah, but is he
I don't do
edible?
anything. Edible. I'm not edible. Do not consume me.
Audible, not edible. My mistake.
What?
Tasty then.
What? Who? I frowned. How could she have known that? The only ideas I'd kept in my mind had been an imaginary friend, a Zin member, and a staff member from the tower.
Bro, why does everyone in this game frown so much?
Bro, her child died.
But I frowned, Atsuki.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Why do you think
Atsuki.
she's sad?
She
I'm
can
not
frown all she wants.
I'm not sure if it makes sense. When he told us the story about her friend, we hadn't experienced the Sekimeiya's powers. Yet, now though, I just thought of something that could make a lot of sense. Apparently, she and her friend were living together, but you said that was impossible since you hadn't seen her. Could it be that her friend was herself after having traveled to the past?
Sen?
7, not me.
Oh, 7.
Oh, well, right. With that sentence, the huge but simple possibility opened up in my mind. I hadn't considered it at all since I'd been blinded by conspiracies, but I immediately understood why Shiroya had reached that idea.
Herself? What are you talking about? I would have seen her.
What's the point? You did! I think Shiroya might be right.
What?
You would have seen her, yes. You said that she started to disobey you sometimes, and that once you found her home after not having gone to school.
Right. They were actively keeping her identity from you because they felt like they couldn't reveal that another Isla had appeared. But when one of them went to school or to do what you instruct her to do, the other couldn't follow. During those instances, you might have seen the Isla who had traveled from the future. What? Did I just imagine that her behavior changed? She distanced herself and spent much less time with me.
Then this is one of the few things that explains it. Why else would she hide a friend from you? She didn't have bad intentions, and neither did her friend.
Uh,
I think.
I think it's Inferno.
No, because
Yeah, but the last scene was me, but I didn't have anything to read.
fine. We watched my favorite movie together and was her favorite too. She went to the aquarium last month, just like us. I recall a few things Arena had said.
The way Isla described her friend made it sound as if she'd made up a persona that had her own face.
Persona?
Persona!
Persona!
Go,
Yeah,
Izanagi!
She made up a persona that had her own traits and experienced the same events. However, if it was herself from the future, wasn't it? She wasn't lying.
Why else would she refuse to go to the amusement park? Both of them couldn't go at once, so she must have wanted to. Hold on. So she must not have wanted to leave her friend.
He's so bad.
Knowing firsthand how much she wanted to go too. Then right now she's outside. It's what Isla said. She's waiting for me outside. That has to be it. She will exist in a month.
I
For now,
didn't want to deny it, but it wasn't that simple.
it's not as
It's
In
simple
actually
fact,
as
very
that.
complicated.
Hmm.
in fact, I think about her faith had changed.
When will you get to there now?
I couldn't assemble things the following way. When Isla disappeared from the cabinet, she went far into the past. The relation should have been a lot bigger. We might have been wrong about that part. In a month, that Isla would somehow enter the tower.
7.
Hmm. Tragically, no matter what I thought up, the following step had to be Isla travels to the past and ends up dead in the cabinet. There was no way to end it differently. However, even though the voice recorder had appeared in Isla's purse, the origin of it was still unexplained with that theory. Erna's head lowered, and her expression went back to how it had been minutes before.
I don't know. I appreciate that you want to believe Isla, but there's no way what she said was true. You remember what her friend supposedly told her about today's incident, right?
I tried to leave the major inconsistency for the end, but Erna was right. Hmm. She told me that something would happen in the tower, but not to worry. She said that if we stayed calm in one place, nobody would be hurt. And she promised I'd be able to see and touch the Sekimeiya. So she was right, wasn't she?
Yeah. According to her, there wasn't going to be no danger. And she said that only 7 people
That's
would
what
get
I was gonna
trapped.
bring up too. So the future Isla, the events that future Isla saw are different from what we are experiencing now.
Maybe.
And future Isla is the one that survived, while in this different timeline, I guess, Isla does not survive. Maybe.
Exactly. There's no way she'd say those things after having seen Naomi's dead body and after everything else that had happened.
Actually, this isn't what I'm the most
Actually.
worried about. Thinking about it conceptually, this is something that cannot work.
Conceptually? You have time traveled, right? Things that would normally be impossible are happening. You've said it so yourself.
That's not what I mean. We've come to the conclusion that the past can't be changed, so what we're suggesting is that Isla met her own self who had traveled from the future. They kept her existence hidden from you, and the friend that let the original Isla know about today's events. Ignoring what was told wasn't incorrect. The next step is flawed. She can't go back to the past and relive what she experienced. She would have to replicate exactly what her friend had done and said, as the past would occur exactly as it had. There's naturally no way she would willingly do that. Isla said they've been hanging out a lot, so, as I said, conceptually, it's incredibly unreasonable to think that she spent the time as her friend knowing how everything would play out. You saw her once she hadn't gone to school, which should be an impossibility since she would have known you would see her, and she would have avoided that.
I see. You're right. It's not possible. I hadn't seen it like that.
The fact that he says conceptually multiple times makes it sound like he's some kind of nerd.
Actually, guys, conceptually, this is not even possible.
You know what he's gonna say? Let's say, hypothetically, that I was a kitty cat. And let's say, hypothetically, that Sai saw my kitty cat self and kissed his cat on the forehead. Like Ben
That's-
Shapiro shit. Let's say, hypothetically.
That's so gay.
It is. What if I dance, and Sai notices me and oils me up? Question mark.
And almost me up.
Okay, this is enough. Everything we think about goes back to the same thought. We don't really understand how the Sekimeiya works. We can't say it's not possible, but the way we're currently thinking about it can't function. I've made up arbitrary rules to explain a few things that have occurred, but as long as they work, we can't disregard them. If traveling so long to the past made Isla's memory fuzzy, for example, she might not have remembered the time she'd spent with herself. From her perspective, that would have been happening for the first time, so she would have acted on her own without being aware that she was repeating everything. She would have also misremembered what had occurred today and given Isla false information that she trusted completely.
Alright. Thank you. 7, this is you.
Oh god. Instead of continuing, Erna turned around and lay on the bed while Shiroya and I looked lost. Her idea had a lot of promise, but it appeared ultimately impossible until we had more information. I'd usually been able to create a patchwork design out of those loose ends of a theory, but in that case, I couldn't think of anything else. Needless to say, I didn't think any part of my memory had been erased upon traveling, although, to be fair, perhaps I wouldn't have realized it. We were completely off base, were we? Was it all just a scheme planned by someone? Before I gave up on the idea, an extra piece of the puzzle that we'd ignored came back to me.
This is you, so.
What do you mean? We're still in Osha Tower, do you not remember? No, I know. What I mean is, what happened to me? Where am I? Who's this?
Following that, there were a couple of unsteady, heavy footfalls, most likely someone staggering. During the next seconds, Isla cried and nobody spoke, inside or outside the recording. Those had been the words said by Isla, and were scheduled to happen in about a month. Was the dark meaning behind Isla's future actions that she discovered the fate that had awaited her? Had she found out that she had died and that her fate had been sealed? Bro, fate and seal in the same sentence, like you can't be real.
Your fate is sealed!
What happened to me?
Not so verse writing.
Fate
What happened to me?
Had been sealed. Fate/sealed.
Fate/team. When would you need fate/defenseless though?
That's what I was thinking.
What happened to me? Where am I? I recall the agonizing ways those words had sounded. I breathed deeply, but anxiety began to crawl up my back, exacerbated by my own lack of knowledge.
Then tap into the
Crawling
fucking
my
hair braid for a
skin.
second there. Breathed.
What?
You tapped into the hair brain. Professor Herobrine. Remember him?
Yeah, what did I say something in German?
You said the way you said breathed sounded like
Yeah,
the way
I
that
can't
Herobrine
make
would
I
say it.
can't make a th sound. I'm really bad at those.
Same.
Breathed.
Breathe.
Breathed. Breathed.
Breathed.
He's so bad.
Truth.
Breathed
Teeth.
talks.
I can't make it sound like the th is such a weird sound.
Well,
to me,
I have
can't.
some bad news for you then. Is that
It's evasive. There's no way
according to my
be
history
found.
teacher from back in high school, old Turkish apparently had the th sound in it. However, when we had a cultural merging with the Greeks, we lost the th sound and it got replaced by something else in our language. So if you want to blame anyone, blame the Greeks.
Always
hate
blame the Greeks.
I would have done that naturally. It doesn't matter.
True.
I hated exploring Genshin Impact. I hated exploring all sorts of options without knowing if I'd ever find the truth. Isla's bleak ending had already been revealed to us, making the process of putting together its outline all the more draining.
Shara was resting her head on top of the pillow. We'd been there for a little while, and the people below us hadn't interrupted us yet. It seemed like relaxing would be an actual option.
You know what I want to draw? I want to draw
What?
Shiroya hugging a big Majima body pillow. That's what I want to draw. I feel like that would go so hard.
It'd be quite funny.
It would. Cute and funny.
Cute and funny. I climbed over Shiroya. Hello? Hey yo?
Hey, hold on.
They're
Atsuki,
playing
I knew we were
Fortnite.
close, but
It's Fortnite.
we're not that close, Atsuki. Okay, calm down.
Ah, hell no. I climbed over Shoroya and lay down, making contact with the cold wall. She was occupying both pillows. Ah, hell no.
Hey, based! Giga
Based.
Chat Jiraiya.
So I have a hard time staying in a comfortable
You
position,
know
so I
how
have
she
to
likes to be?
manually
She's
close
doing
my
like a
eyes.
fucking T pose as she's sleeping.
Yeah, just so you can't take the bed.
Am I like whenever I sleep? Usually, I sleep with my head like in on both pillows, but specifically like the middle part of both pillows.
Oh, so you like sandwich
Is
your own face?
Yeah, I sandwich my own face between the pillows. I think it's very comfortable.
Wait, do you have a master bed? Not master bedroom. Do you live? What? Do you have a two-sized bed?
Yeah, I have a bed for two people.
I also have a bed for 2 people.
Why do I have the virgin ass one people bed? What is going on?
Man, you have no idea how good it is to sleep in a king-sized bed. It's
I have
crazy.
one. I have one pillow on my bed.
I
Sekimeiya
sleep
did
with 2
this.
pillows. I cannot sleep with just like one pillow. It just like takes too long. I'm used to 2 pillows. It's very difficult for me. I also changed out like 20 different fucking sleeping positions every single night, so there's also that.
Bro, I change my sleeping position every like 5 seconds.
I mean, same. It's very hard for me to fall asleep.
Seven read.
As usual, attempting to keep my mind blank was futile, but the contents of what tormented me were very different. Time travel, a smoke attack, body doubles, murders, suspicion. What kind of mess were we in? The group Discord chat. The group chat got leaked. I was aware that there were no guarantees I'd ever feel my own bed again, but depending on what the truth around us really was. Ironically, the stiff bed began to help me get rid of those thoughts, and my senses slowly fade away.
Finally.
Is this the end of chapter 1?
Hopefully, pray.
Pray?
It might be. Hold.
Oh, god damn
hell
it.
It's over.
It is Jover.
Nobody moved for many minutes.
Atsuki, who do you think you are?
Atsuki, why are you hugging me in your sleep?
Atsuki, what are you gay?
I was about to lose touch with reality when a sound brought me back to my surroundings. The 3 of us were startled simultaneously and looked at the hatch that had just opened.
Hmm? What?
Tate appeared through the hatch with a door expression. Since he'd addressed me, I tried to stand up, but I could only support my torso with an arm.
He's like, no, this is Usher's bed. You can't sleep on Usher's bed.
Atsuki, did you really think you would get out of this with simple threats? Those will not work on me, so once we make it out, you can say goodbye to your normal life.
Oh, he's
What is going
dreaming.
on to it?
Oh, he's dreaming. Okay.
I couldn't comprehend a word of what he was saying. He'd sat on the bed and put his face really close to mine. Kiss him! Kiss!
Oh, he's
Kiss,
like
kiss,
distracting him by saying like meaningless shit, and then he's like spit in his mouth. The second he sees like an opportunity.
His eyes told me that he was being serious, but I couldn't help but respond with an exaggerated frown.
He's so bad at this. Are you listening to me?
What the hell are you on about?
Stop with your facade. That all makes sense, and I know Shiro must be working with you. Then?
Ah.
For a second, I thought he might have figured out we defended the Sekimeiya and had decided to blow it out of proportions. Don't worry, Aruna. I know he's been threatening you from the start. We're all locked up here, so now he can pull one of his tricks. Earlier, when I left the lobby, you were who followed me, not Sai. However, you made the others cover for you. That wasn't a smart move, idiot.
What's up with him? Why is he getting so angry?
I didn't realize that everything was a fabrication. You killed the first Naomi and had everyone else lie about it. That's why you made up the elevator noise to frame me or someone else.
What? Are you fucking out of your mind? Why would I want to frame you if everyone else was covering for me?
You're not trying to change the facts. When the second army died conveniently, I ended up on floor 6 while you and everyone you threatened were under me. That's why you could all act as if you had an alibi for her death. You knew about the other key and had been here already. You could have had every key from the beginning. Right. How did I not know such suspicious behavior? You and Troy left
Hold on,
the
hold
attic.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Hold. Repeat that line again.
Right. How did I ignore such suspicious behavior?
Go ahead.
Go on.
You and Shiroya left the attic and didn't come back for 15 minutes, and then the second man had mysteriously disappeared. However, you and Struck decided to immediately act suspiciously.
I forgot. Hold on, hold on,
Oh my
hold on.
God.
I forgot.
Do you have the other Among Us sound?
Which one?
The one that's like. "Whoa."
There's an Among Us sound like that?
Yeah,
I don't think there is.
Hold on. I don't think that was a very accurate portrayal. That was me being autistic. Hold
To
on.
act suspiciously as soon as we went down to divert my attention. I'm so bad at reading. Oh my god.
Whatever.
Man, I cannot take
What's
these
this?
scenes seriously when Aaron and Shreya look so good and
I know.
Kate looking so
You got him stuck in the middle with this goddamn
Bro, I just want to sleep, Kante. Just leave me the fuck alone, dude.
Kate will not have sleep. Unga bunga Kate angry. He was framed.
I can't believe Kate is Blanco. Who is this?
7.
Despite everything that had occurred, my bewilderment thus far couldn't compare to what I felt from the words I was hearing.
Bro is flabbergasted. And then, Isla died. You were behind that, right? You tried to make us believe that you were sleeping as it happened. How did I swallow that lie? Sure, I found a hidden passage in the storeroom. How was I so stupid? You were about to use it. Before showing up in the lobby, you came from hallway B. You were too stupid to appear from hallway after removing the Sekimeiya from the cleaning room. No wonder you sided with Aaron and wanted everyone to stay locked in here. After all, you think the Sekimeiya could safely sleep like you were doing just now. Did you actually think any of this would work?
Are you just fucking around or are you really just this dumb?
I suppose you will not give up. You two are the culprits behind this incident. Why were you in the first group of the guided visit when you show no interest in the gems? Now that I've learned about it, you must confess. I know you didn't attempt to threaten me individually since I work here and there's no way I'd give in to you.
You know, Atsuki, punch him in the face. Just punch
Bro,
him in the face.
Bro, Kati literally just woke up, chose violence.
Yeah, he was like, that's it. I'm gonna start
I'm
insulting
having
him
a
now."
hard time following. Do you actually believe what you're saying?
Kate's face had shifted. I couldn't understand what was happening.
Now, I never thought you were brilliant, but this is ridiculous. There are some huge inconsistencies within everything that you said. What's gotten into you?
Instead of replying, he looked at Erna. Upon seeing that she didn't immediately corroborate his story, he breathed faintly to keep calm.
I'm serious. Tell me, did you think all about? Did you just think all about this and come here thinking that you'd crack the mystery? I discarded a few theories earlier because they relied on you being completely brainless, but now I should reconsider them.
Oh my god,
Again,
he's actually,
he decided to remain quiet.
bro. Dropping.
He's like, he wakes up, Atsuki, you did this! And then Katsuki calls him, are you retarded? And he goes sad and he goes back down.
Bro, he just like me for real.
Kate, dude.
He's literally me.
How What kind of person would write such a character? Like, holy shit! I don't know if I love the guy or hate his guts. I genuinely have no clue right now.
I,
That's so funny.
I think it's
He's
both.
so bad.
That's so good.
Fucking clown emoji.
Literally clown.
Clown emoji. Hold on, wait. I have to put on the circus song.
I have one.
Oh my god.
You have a Discord server. That must be interesting, Kate.
Then he retraced the steps. and
Wait,
looked at-
wait.
Okay.
Kachi's theme song right now.
God, thank you. Hold on, let me crank it up a little bit.
Did the game crash?
Why did the game crash?
That were the clowns.
Kate got so pissed he crashed every game.
Yeah, the curse of Kate.
Viewers, please enjoy this low-tier god poster while I open the game.
It is so funny.
Bro, what did they mean by this?
That was actually the best scene in the game. Hold on, I'm going to.
I don't think we need to
going
play the game anymore. We saw the best scene. Okay.
I'm going to improve that meme now.
Oh my god.
Why you do that?
This is so funny. Bro gives you like the most crack-headed theory, and then Atsuki drops the
I
hardest
think he's like
bombs of the
drunk or
century.
something. You know what happened? Like Sai like opened like a cabinet, and there was like a bunch of like fucking beer in there or some shit, and they like fucking drank like fucking 25 liters of alcohol each. Akira's like just completely passed out. Sai's basically barely keeping himself together, and like fucking Kate's like doing shit like this. All three of them are like incredibly drunk. That's what happened. Either that or
Yeah, he was probably there, like down there. They're doing like a truth or dare, and he was there to do this.
yeah. See, that is a perfect theory behind this. Or Sam just like entered, got something out of his pocket. It was like just a small bag of cocaine. He took it and like just he like covered his hand with it, right? And like punched Kate in the face while his hand was like full of cocaine. And he made him like, snort it that way. And now he came up here and now he's saying this shit.
Hold on.
Why are we still listening to the clown theme?
I mean, it is kind of based.
It is kind of funny, that is true.
Atsuki really dropping the biggest bombs of the century.
I
you
don't think this
fucking
game would be
retard-
as nearly as good if not for Kate.
Literally.
Are you
true.
are you fucking retarded and then just leave?
Haha, I figured out everything. You are the culprit. No, you're just fucking stupid. Oh, okay.
Well,
There has to be like some explanation behind that. Holy shit. Like, Kate's like fucking brain got shut off by the Sekimeiya or some shit.
Something like that. I don't know.
He's like hallucinating. He got like a schizophrenic episode.
Okay, I did the meme. Hold on, look at this.
Where is it?
There you go. I posted it.
Hold on, I'm gonna replace the Kate image one moment and the Kate image in the stream.
That's what he deserves after that.
He does deserve it though. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay. Now
You need
let
to
us continue.
open the stream. You don't have your stream open.
Oh right. I have OBS open, but I forgot the Discord stream. Man, I hate it when the Sekimeiya spawn glass crashes itself because it's so bad.
And
Zen.
yeah,
Zen.
yes, yes,
You died.
yes.
Read again.
I literally was reading the first
No,
two
your
lines.
voice was like beep boop beep boop. You were like so robotic. You were cutting off.
Then he retraced his steps and looked through the hatch. My perception of him had been changing as time advanced, but it had suddenly taken a significant turn. I still hadn't processed a few things he'd said.
What the
He's
hell?
getting angry.
What the hell? That son of a bitch!
Oh, I know what happened. Sai convinced him. He like gaslit him.
Yeah.
Thinking we were the
Yeah.
culprit. And while like he was up, he like opened the door. Fair enough.
Is it me? Okay.
Yeah.
It's time to stand up. I moved first since Katya had forcibly changed my move. I walked up to him and ignoring his awkwardly placed body, I kneeled down, trying to understand what he was looking at.
What? There is no way.
Sai and Akira
Oh my
weren't
god,
there.
it was that. They left the room. They gaslit him. But they really just went, Atsuki's the culprit, dude. This, and this. And like just gaslit him so hard together. And he like got distracted by that, went up. And they just like fucking left.
He still deserves the clown emoji.
He does. Will got gaslit so hard.
I couldn't see the entire lower partition devoid of any. I could see the entire lower partition devoid of any human
They're in
presence.
the closet. It's just like Sai, he's in the closet about being gay.
Where are they? They couldn't have left.
I went down the ladder. They weren't in the wardrobe or under the bed. Countless questions hammered from inside my head, but I immediately went to check the door. The chain isn't set. I said that out loud to inform the others who still remained upstairs. I attempted to get the door to open, but it was still locked in place.
I don't get it. How did they do it?
It's a locked room mystery! Cue the Minako theme, please.
I'm gonna kill you.
It must have been 15:30. I doubted we'd been in the bathroom for more than 25 minutes. No matter what had happened, it was clear that a relaxing time was what had awaited us.
At first, I began telling me that. Oh my god!
He literally did gaslit.
Oh,
Oh my
god.
At first, I began telling me that you threatened him, and I went into detail saying how you'd managed to accomplish everything. I didn't believe him at all, but he started to make some compelling arguments. It was Sai, though, so I didn't take him seriously. However, even though Akira had been looking at him with skepticism from the start, after a while he confirmed my story and gave us his version. He said you threatened him too and that Erino has fallen victim as well. Oh my god, this guy actually got gaslit. I'm sorry, but at that time everything was pieced together and I truly believed them.
This is too much. You're saying they escaped after you went through the hatch.
I don't know how, but yes.
Oh my god, Kante, he is so bad.
He's my favorite character.
I don't know if I hate him or love him.
Both.
I had no idea what was happening. Leaving should have been impossible, let alone in such a short time. Both of them must have wanted you to go to up, so both of them must have wanted you to go up so they could leave without being seen.
And your stupidity was a perfect base for that to work. Like a flower and cake.
Maybe the lock could be forced with something like a card, but it would take a long time. There's no way they could have escaped in less than a minute.
The chain isn't set, so they definitely left through the door. That could be a distraction.
Would we not have heard it if they'd forced it open? Maybe it was removed as a trick, to make us think they used the door.
That's what I am thinking too. It must have been like some sort of trick. I
7.
doubt they used the door.
7.
Yeah.
No, this
I hated
is me.
that
'Cause
feeling.
you,
Oh, okay, Inferno.
I
No,
hate
it's
that
actually
feeling.
Zen.
I hate that feeling. We've been shoved into another mission without solving anything, and Sai's plan had worked. Additionally, it appeared that Akbar had worked with me to create a story in which I'd been the main culprit. It would have eventually, but the notion that nobody would be able to go back to the past if we stayed there was already obsolete. It had become possible for Sai and Akbar to appear in the past if that was part of their intent. Even though Eren and Han reacted strongly, there was an important implication. Sai and Akaro had worked together, so they could have orchestrated the recording if they worked with Isla or threatened her.
Does it even matter? This is the logic Sai used when Shiroya and I left the attic. If something happens, it'll be their fault. Can we not apply it now?
At
7.
7.
Admittedly, I was tired, and my body demanded me to sleep again.
You're crazy. They played us like this?
They played us like a damn fiddle! They played you! Do you want to break the door open? We agreed to stay here until the police came, and now we've learned who the culprits are. They must have had a goal in mind, and it's very likely they accomplished it already. You can go search for them if you think that'll do anything. I was exhausted. I let my body fall into the bed, and at my side and disconnected from the conversation. Logging off Discord.
Kate began knocking on the door. Hey guys, can you open the door, please? And yelling. I didn't know what to think, as I couldn't bring myself to completely trust the story. If everything was as he'd said, even though Sai and Akro would have managed to escape, it would have clearly communicated that they had ulterior motives, which they'd managed to keep mostly hidden until that point. However, that might have also indicated how much they'd needed to get out.
Wake up, get out there.
I think Sai just like got bored staying in here, so I was like, Akro, you know what? Let's just fucking leave. I think that's what happened.
Akoro break door, unga bunga.
Yeah, Unga Bunga Akuro smash!
Akro smash!
I really like that funny
Well,
idea,
why
to
are
be
we
honest.
turning him into like a himbo in our
I don't know,
heads? He's
Akuro-
like this
Akuro-
big dumb guy.
Because he's the largest one in the group, that's why.
Yeah,
True.
the idea of Akuro being this, like, monkey, basically, is so funny to me.
Akro is Leo Whitefang. That's
Leo
what he is.
Ah. Should we try to leave? They were probably hoping we'd still stay after they escaped, which is why they blatantly did so.
I don't want to. I'm not sure what Akro's deal is, but if Sai had been the only one to escape, I would have thought that his motive was to make us chase after him to undo the bedroom lock. If they're still in the tower, there's not much they can do. They can go to the past or hide the Sekimeiya, but they still be trapped in here, even if they went as far back enough to exit the tower. There's no reason for us to chase them.
But what if one of them had the handle for the hidden exit? They could exit with the Sekimeiya.
Then they're already gone. However, if they could open it, they would have done that earlier.
They could have figured out a way to open the door after they found
What
it.
aboutism?
What about this? 7 is you.
I sighed in exasperation and set the chain again. The key was outside, so the chain would prevent Sai and Akro from returning. Why is the culprit hiding in... Hold on, I checked the chat. Okay, nobody has said anything yet. Why is the culprit hiding the Sekimeiya if we'll be able to find it? That recurring question felt similar to our present situation. What could they have wanted to achieve by making it out? Well, unless they wanted to experiment with the Sekimeiya or hide it. The only reason I could think was that they needed to go back in time to finish something off. The other question was a lot more intriguing to me. How had they escaped? They hadn't had enough time to break the door open, and there was no way we'd missed a hidden person. So who'd opened it from the outside? To open the door, the key would have been needed. There was no other way to accomplish it. However, we knew it couldn't have been inside the bedroom. As I'd thought earlier, the only way to undo the lock would have been by using the key from the outside and then unsetting the chain from the inside. So somebody has gone to the past and unlocked it from the outside, and the Sai and Akuro from the present unlock the chain from the inside,
Maybe.
right? That's like the only
But
conceivable way it could have worked.
then
Unless
how
there's
do
like a
you
hidden passage in here.
how do you still open the door though? There's no handle.
I mean, isn't the handle like just outside?
Yes.
So, if they had a screwdriver, they could probably mount it back in,
No,
right?
both of the handles are outside.
Hmm. Then I don't know.
What about
Acro Smash!
Yeah, that's also my leading theory here.
man? I feel bad if the developers are like looking at our shoes because they wanted to make a serious game and we just make a joke.
Midstream, Kate becomes a clown, Akuro becomes Unga Bunga, Caveman Smash.
To be fair, they haven't characterized him at all yet. Like, bro has not been saying anything. He was just like staring at everyone do their thing. He was like completely silent. Bro's fucking dead inside, dude. He has
Kill
like, he has a
child.
college debt or some shit.
Touch Sekimeiya, kill child.
Would you rather kill a child or kill a child? Like, Akro like immediately pressed the button.
And then everyone was flabbergasted.
Yeah, Aaron is the black guy meme. This meme right here, hold on.
What do you mean the black guy? I mean, there's like 5 billion of those.
This is Aaron after her kid dies, bro. It's like this is Aaron after he sees Akira punch Isla's skull to the pavement.
Erna, woman, if you tell anyone that I killed Ayla, I will rape and murder you. and then he gives like a light tap in her shoulder, and then fucking leaves.
Right, Erna. Life good. Erna fight back. Kill Erna.
Akro, the homicidal maniac.
See,
Can I date him?
see, maybe we should rewrite Sekimeiya.
True. We would have made a
Sekimeiya's
much better
story with
story.
Yeah, Sai and Kate constantly kissing. Akuro smashing woman.
I mean, Zen, hear me out. I think we use the Sekimeiya like 20 years into the future. We came back, we established a gaming studio, and then we made Baldur's Gate 3. We are the creators of that game.
That was us. That was us.
You know, that's the only explanation. There's so much gay sex in this game, it's crazy.
With my eyes closed and without giving it much thought, I could reach a very easy explanation, similar to what Sai had proposed before we'd locked ourselves in the bedroom. They left through the door and went to the past with the Sekimeiya. Then they opened the bedroom's door with the key that we'd hidden under the bathroom's carpet. To escape, they simply pulled the door open from the inside, which would have been slightly open. It is reminiscent of the first bootstrap paradox concept that I thought of a few hours earlier, and the clean and brief way they'd managed to escape might have been an indication that it was that it was accepted in our universe.
Yeah, that's the problem. Thank you, Aski.
And then you're underwater.
Zen from the Nintendo DS.
However, there was an inherent property of these type of paradoxes. They had no origin. They were closed loops that occurred with no root or motive whatsoever.
Big man.
Their escape method, though, had a real origin. Sai and Akuro's thoughts.
Oh.
If one of them had thought of a way to escape, the final thing they needed would have been the universe's approval. They would have set an intangible origin of the loop, making it fundamentally different from a casual loop.
Causal loop. The key to the Sekimeiya cabinet isn't here.
What? I realized that to accomplish that sort of plan, they wouldn't need to escape the cabinet key to be able to go to the past. Upon turning my head, I seen it wasn't on top of drawers anymore where I left it. What the hell did they want to do? In short, Sayako could have taken the type of escape route. They know where the second May had been, so they been in reach of one. What? So they'd been in reach of one of the points necessary to accomplish the creation of the loop. After thinking of the way things would play out, they lured Kati out. Subsequently, they left the room as it would have been unlocked. The last thing they would have had to do was travel back in time and unlock the door. If a result of the travel hadn't incited the thought, the loop would have had a clear starting point. It also implied they were both culprits in the incident, as we know any culprit must have possessed higher knowledge than the second man's mechanics and limits. 7 read.
Hmm. There was a slight problem. Unlocking the door from the outside might have made a bit of noise. If it had happened before they thought of the concept, the loop would have had no origin, as the noise itself would have told them what to do. I couldn't think of a way to circumvent it easily, but if the cube could fit under the door, their future version could have slid it inside. However, the gap wasn't big enough, or else we would have simply locked ourselves in and slid out of the bedroom. Beyond that concept, I felt like Kate's story was iffy. As much as Sai and Akro could have conspired together, nothing told us that Kate hadn't been on it too. They could have spent half an hour unlocking the door's lock and made it seem as if they magically escaped. Kate had immediately suggested unlocking the bedroom, making for a simple motive if the three of them had secretly been against Aaron's request. That's an interesting thought.
No music.
Sai! Akuro, what the hell are you trying to do?
I feel like Kate has such a big hate boner for Sai that I don't think he would like everyone to work together with him. I don't know.
Bro, I think he has a paid bone for everyone.
Except Erna probably, and Ayla, and Shiroya,
Yeah.
and Atsuki, and Akro. Just Sai. It's just fucking Sai.
Kate continued knocking on the door, acting accordingly for someone who'd been played as badly as him.
Oi!
Hey, Sai, Akuro.
Yes, Kate. I'm sure they'll come back if you ask nicely.
Are you not worried at all about what they could be trying to do?
Not very much. If they're culprits, we're safer now that they left. All they can do is go back in time, which sounds fairly harmless at this point and unavoidable.
You're right. You're right there. It's now clear that they were the culprits, so if they come back, we won't let them in.
Sure, so you can stop with the knocking. They have the Sekimeiya though, so I'm betting they could teleport back inside if they really wanted to.
That's not a great thought to keep in mind.
Imagine you choose the Sekimeiya and you teleport inside a door frame, like the space between the two rooms, and then like the door is closed, so you just like get fucking split in two. That could happen, probably.
Who is this?
7.
You guys are making me look like a schizophrenic out here. It could happen. Anyway, Kate stepped aside. It appeared we decided to stay. Even though Shiroi and Aaron hadn't given their input, they must have wanted that too, and were likely dumbfounded by the fact that our self-imposed imprisonment hadn't even lasted for 30 minutes.
Oops, my stream died.
The door made some noises, if you guys heard that.
Synchronized, we all looked at the door.
This is me.
No.
Akuro will smash you if you don't.
Oh wait, actually it is you. I forwore.
Synchronized, we all looked at the door. As we thought, Kate was no longer in front of it.
What the? Did they come back? Hey, who is it?
Ureda! What are you doing here? Oh, it was Akuro.
Without a doubt, Akuro was behind the door.
Don't play dumb. We won't let you in. Wait, who? What the fuck happened to this handle?
During Kate's assertion,
Akuro
began to
smash!
yeah, Akuro, look, he's literally smashing. Akuro began to smash his way through the door. We understood he had the key as soon as we heard it being turned over and over.
What the hell are you doing? You're not getting back in.
Akuro smash.
He actually did.
He actually did.
Why do they keep predicting everything in this game? Why
I
are we
can't
so good?
I can't believe our meme actually came through. Akuro actually smashed the door.
Rowan
Ooga
just forced
Akuro
himself in.
smash.
Hello, security officer. I just did a B&E. B&E refers to breaking and entering. Thank you.
Oh my god. Alright, this is me. But he was mistaken. After a few seconds of Akuro's struggles, the chain burst out and the door opened. Akuro's figure was behind it, and we all saw the key placed in the outer keyhole.
When your homie does something so acrophobic, you burst open the door and give him the acro stare.
Akurophobic.
Acrophobic.
I mean, you literally said you can't enter this room. We don't like you. That's not a very good chain.
What do you think you're doing? Where's Sai? Everyone was flabbergasted. The chain hadn't been
Flabbergasted.
broken, but it had flabbergasted. The chain hadn't been broken, but it had been forced open. It wasn't too surprising. Apparently, my plan had an obvious hole from the start.
Yeah, you didn't consider Akuro smash strategy.
Eventually, Akuro wore a very confused expression. He looked at us one by one. What the fuck? Who are you?
Huh?
What is going on?
Nobody knew. Yeah, Akuro has two modes. He has normal Akuro and Akuro Smash, and we never met Akuro Smash before.
Yeah, in Akuro smash, he forgets all his
It's like
memories.
Genocide Jack.
Yeah, he forgets all his memories. He doesn't remember anything. He's like, ooh,
Okay,
who
but like,
these
for real.
lovely, who this tiny ant I crush with my little hand. I
What
crush with
sick
Akuro's
man would
smash.
send babies to fight me? It's like heavy TFL.
Seconds of silence
babies. Okay.
Seconds of silence followed. Nobody knew how to answer, as we weren't sure who that had been directed to.
I think I know what is happening here. I think Akuro has like some sort of connection to Ashia, and this Akuro is from before the exhibition started, and he just went up to the attic. Okay, he opened the door, not realizing that he has like time traveled or some shit. I don't know. Some weird freaky shit is going on, and this Akuro had never met us before.
Who? Me?
Yeah, because Kati's like the fake security guard, so he obviously doesn't know which security guard are you. I've never seen this guy.
What's your game? Are you trying to act like you don't recognize me?
7.
Akira responded by looking at the rest of us, expecting to be backed up. However, his confusion only grew when he realized that we found his words to be the strange ones.
Excuse me? Why are you looking at me like that? What the fuck did this man appear from? You will not trick me twice.
Where's Sai?
Sai? I have no idea. He left the room early and then come back. What are y'all even doing here?
Okay, hold on. Isla's friend, so Isla herself, mentioned that there were going to be 7 people. It was, so the one extra person is like another man, right? Is that it?
I don't remember.
Oh!
But I mean,
think
this has been a leading theory from the start that Kate that we have here is a part of Zen.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
that's not what I'm referring
Sai
to.
was
Hold on.
originally.
Isla from the future had told the present Isla that there would be 7 people, but now we realize that there's 8 people. Does that mean Kate is the extra 8th person that shouldn't be here? What I'm getting at is that, well, I think there are like 2 timelines, and I think these characters are shifting from these 2 timelines. One in which Kate does exist, one in which Kate doesn't exist, and Akuro here is the one from the future Isla's timeline, in which Isla kept on living after a month, and he has not seen Kate before, and he's like confused.
I don't think they're switching between timelines, but that sounds like a possibility. It's a theory to keep in mind for sure.
I'm just like throwing shit at the wall, dude.
Yeah, let's just
Whatever
play.
sticks.
It's interesting. I want to see what's happening. All right, let's just play. We can theorize later.
7 read.
Alright, hold on. As I saw how lost he looked, I began to take his words seriously. He sounded genuine, but not a thing he was saying made any sense. What do you mean? Do you really not remember Kate?
Kate? Is that his name? Where should I remember him from?
He's been with us the whole time.
He took us a few seconds to answer, during which he'd eyed me like I'd gone insane.
Why are you lying? What's
Why
happening?
are you lying?
Huh? What do you mean? Out of nowhere, he looked at Shiraya. Like the rest of us, she was taken aback, as the two of them had barely exchanged words since we'd gotten trapped.
I mean, what I said. Why are you all?
We tried to stay put in one place together. Do you not remember that?
No, I do. That doesn't answer my question, though.
How does it not answer your question? You and I escaped and now you came back.
What? That's not true. I didn't escape.
I couldn't quite grasp it, but something felt off about Akira's behavior. Past his bizarre claims, he seemed more aggressive. Yes,
Yeah, because he's in Smash mode.
He's in the Akira Smash mode. He's in angry mode, and his voice sounded more composed. Not only that, but he'd been fixing his gaze on Shiroya. Akira, why did you come back? Do you intend to stay here again?
The door was locked, so were y'all waiting here? I'm very confused. What you are is a lying piece of shit. Do you think you can simply come back as if nothing happened? I don't know who you were, but don't yell at me. I'm not supposed to stay here, but you all need to explain ourselves.
Yeah, don't yell at Akira Smash. He will crush your skull.
Gets mad.
You am angry, Akira. Akira not pleased.
Yes,
Akira,
don't
crush
yell
your
at
tiny
Akira.
skull.
Mods, crush his skull. Thank you.
Is it me?
I don't know. Probably.
Probably.
Erina moved forward and took the key out of the door. She brought Akira inside, closed the door, and locked it. Then she set the chain again.
Even if the chain can be ignored from the outside, we'll easily hear it if someone tries to force it open again. I was probably wrong before. We should have kept the key inside to avoid all this. I'll keep it with me. This way, if Sai comes, he won't be able to enter or let anyone leave easily.
What about Isla? Aren't you going to...
I knew it, see? It's a different timeline altogether. See, Kate's gonna be like, what the fuck do you mean? Are you trying to hurt her, asshole?
7.
None of us could believe what we were hearing. Had he forgotten what had happened, or was he talking about her dead body?
I don't know what you're trying, but it's futile. You're revealing your true colors by trying to play dumb. I don't understand anything. I saw the elevator had been fixed, but how did you all get here?
Again, such an ambiguous question couldn't be answered by any of us since we didn't comprehend its meaning.
The elevator? That was fixed a long ago. That was fixed a long time ago. And what do you mean?
Here, the Asia floor.
With the key Naomi had? Do you actually not remember that?
Are you fucking with me?
She's not. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I don't get it. Where was the key exactly?
In one of her pockets.
But there's no way.
I had the keys.
No, I think she's gonna
remember
say
that Naomi died.
I think she's gonna say, yeah.
No, what? No, I mean, when was her body found?
Many hours ago.
Akiro closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He was as confused as us.
Are you all lying to me? That's funnier to say. Wasn't you who told me that Aski had been threatening everyone? Excuse me? I never said that.
Gaslighting isn't real.
My head was going numb. I had no way to interpret what I was hearing.
This is ridiculous. Did you all go insane?
If you're being sincere, it's clear that your memories contradict ours. What time do you think it is?
I have no idea, but I don't think it's 16 sharp yet.
Right, that matches the current time. What do you remember at the beginning at the start of our imprisonment?
Asuke, please don't tell me you're playing along. He's trying to manipulate us, and this time it's a lot more obvious. Shut up. As I said, we stayed put, but eventually you all left, so then I went to find you and I heard knock coming from here.
That's not how it happened. You and Sai were the only ones who left. Do you not remember anything from the time before we started to wait?
I thought my cat today would be to humor Akuro, but not too long ago I'd considered the possibility that the Sekimeiya could cause memory loss. I wanted to know if that was possible, as it could have let Isla's story occur as we imagined it. If, after escaping, Akuro had traveled through time, that might have been the direct cause of the state he was in.
Oh shit! Guys, remember when we found Akuro in the bathroom? That was when the two Akuros switched between the timelines. Now we're back to the original, I think. Oh no, actually, never mind. That's dumb. That does not work. But that still does not explain how it worked. Whatever. I'll think of it more.
I'm having trouble understanding what you're referring to. Before we started to wait, we investigated the building and Naomi appeared briefly just to disappear again.
That's not true. You were surprised that Naomi's body was found. But not that she died. Subconsciously, you must have known that, but you didn't remember having found her. Is that so? Are you sure that nothing happened right before we began to wait?
I don't know what you're talking about.
We found a hidden passage in the storeroom, a door and a door that could lead outside.
You can't be serious. A hidden exit? Why are we still here then?
We had no way to open it. Do you really not recall any of that?
Yeah, until Akuro smashed the door open.
Yeah, I mean he smashed this door open, so why can't he smash the other one?
I don't, because it didn't happen. There are no gaps in my memory, so
Checkmate,
don't treat me as if I'm
liberals.
delusional. Say, sure, is this some sort of trap?
No.
I
He just
understand.
believes her.
Dude,
That's
do
fair,
you-
I suppose.
I wonder if my theory is actually coming to fruition about Atsuki and Akuro being the same people.
Yeah, because why else would Akuro like trust her so much? Shit. This is actually making some sense.
We'll see.
I'm sorry to sound so blunt, but is there a reason why you keep talking to her specifically?
Aw. I don't know how to answer this. I sympathize with you two, as I've already said. That's why it's surprising to see you lying like this. You're really saying that this guy has been with us the whole time. I suppose I deserve these treatments, don't I? Why don't you be straight with me then?
Akuro, what the fuck are you talking about, Jesse?
You sympathize with us?
Just drop it.
What the hell does that mean? Everything about you has been suspicious from the start.
I get it.
What do you get? Is your plan to drive us insane? Because you're doing a great job!
Why won't you answer? Why did you say that you sympathize with us?
Maybe you're the ones who lost your memories and forgot about the time when you told me.
Are you out of your mind? Why the hell would we tell you anything about us? No, I get it. The Sekimeiya must have inserted false memories into your head, right? Is that what you're gonna say next?
The Sekimeiya?
Oh my god, who
He
is that?
doesn't know!
He actually doesn't know? Oh, you forgot that too? That's funny.
I didn't forget about it, of course not. Why would it give me false memories though?
I wasn't being serious.
7 read.
Oh god, I was beginning to lose it. Until then, I'd been trying to tackle every mystery calmly, no matter how crazy it had been. That time though, knowing that Akro could have been lying to us, I couldn't do the same. Was he messing with us and had hinted at knowing more about us deliberately? I couldn't tell if he'd been referring to that.
I could tell you weren't serious, but why did you mention the Sekimeiya?
Do I have to give you the rundown? We found a Sekimeiya could make us time travel to the past, so we locked ourselves up to escape from the culprit who'd been using it. Akro didn't answer, but he remained pensive. Since he hadn't objected to the existence of a time travel stone, he must have known about it in some capacity, even if some of his memories had really disappeared. Is there anything wrong with what I have said?
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Dude, this shit is getting intense.
Jesus Christ, yeah. The Virgin Atsuki versus the Chad Akuro. From the current timeline, from an alternate timeline. Biz big, muscular, and strong. Is weak, small, and frail. Probably had sex with Shiroya, is still friends with Shiroya. Just saying. Now, in the meantime, let's do some Twitch checking. That was kind of routine. Oh god, that's music. Oh god, that's
I'll be right back. I will be
God,
back.
I'm
I'll be right back.
That was the stream. Okay. Then I have some very funny news for you.
He's not here, he said he'd be back.
Okay, I forgot. Inferno, I have some very funny news for you.
Yeah?
The stream from yesterday has 33 views.
Oh my god, this is so sad.
We're getting famous, Mom. I'm a niche internet micro celebrity, Mom. It is how it is, I suppose. We have one viewer watching us. Do we?
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I have some silly news for you then. The stream we did yesterday, the one that was 3 hours long, well, 3 hours and 30 minutes, it has gotten 33 views.
That's insane. You're getting popular.
We're getting popular. Then, which Bugatti are you gonna buy first?
I'm not sure exactly, not yet at least.
No, I've been thinking of buying a tank with the new money.
Thomas is tank engine.
Go.
Okay, go, white boy, go.
It's you,
It's
Sam.
literally you.
No, I just want to say it because it's funny. Is there anything wrong with what I said? Mr.
Of course.
Infano! You don't seem too phased after hearing that the Sekimeiya had made us travel through time. However, earlier you didn't mention it when you appeared. You explained your version of the events. So how did you know about it?
I'm not sure. You're pathetic, Akuro. What's your goal with these theatrics? Shut the fuck up.
Based
Akuro,
Shut the
man.
fuck up, Kate. It's you then.
In the case he was telling the truth, some of his memories must have remained hidden within his mind, as Naomi's death and the Sekimeiya's powers hadn't been received as a surprise.
I don't know why you'd read it like that, but I also have to tell you now I lied. I actually don't know who it was. Anyway.
It was you that just read it, probably. So. Do you
remember? Do you really not remember Kate at all? He works in this building, managing the security system. He told us all of that a while ago.
None of that happened.
Zen?
I laughed in frustration. Since we'd gotten trapped, not a single thing had made sense. And when we thought we'd begun to have the slightest grasp on some events, Akuro had appeared, letting us know that we might have been wrong about everything. If touching the Sekimeiya had caused it, we might have ignored an extra effect of the travels from the beginning. Isla! Isla!
All of a sudden,
there,
Aaron-
by the way.
What?
Yeah,
New
this is
sprite.
Right.
She looks crazy, holy shit.
All of a sudden, Erin snapped. Her whole face shifted into the most desperate expression a human could make, and she dashed towards the door, slamming into it. Ignoring that she had the right key and that the chain was set, she tried to pull it open frantically until her emotions abruptly stopped.
What are you doing?
I stood up from the bed, reacting to her sudden change. Which Rose felt, I grabbed her shoulders before she stopped moving, thinking that she might have suffered from a panic or anxiety attack. Before I could see the yellow, she crumpled down and started crying.
Layla, she's there. I heard her.
In a voice
Okay, but
distorted
we've-
by sobs, she let out those words. The four of us exchanged looks, unsettled by that claim. Even though Akuro seemed to have forgotten about Isla's death, he looked confused as well, since none of us had heard anything.
She's suffering. I could hear her yell. She's here outside this door. There. You all hear her too, right?
Whenever Erna stopped speaking, pure silence filled the room. After she asked us that, we paid attention, but no sound entered our ears.
Yes, it's her.
Erna, there's nobody outside.
I didn't hear anything. You should lie down.
What? There's no way. Even though she said that, her body gave out even further, as she understood that she was saying what she understood that what she was saying couldn't be true. She tried to steady herself by supporting her body on the door. I helped her stand back up and brought her closer to the bed. She was forcefully shutting her eyes as a measure to resist the pain. What had happened to Isla might have suddenly rushed back to her, as she would probably remember the trauma for years to come. She must have hallucinated the sound, given how no one else had heard it.
You don't mean to say that Isla...
I nodded, making eye contact with him. Even though we knew nothing about Akuro, if he was acting disconcerted, he must have maintained a facade from the start and had begun taking advantage of the low amount of suspicion we'd openly thrown at him.
That... It can't be. She was with us the entire time. Akuro sat in the other bed and placed his hands on his forehead, staring at his lap. He had stopped questioning us since he had mentioned the Sekimeiya, as he must have realized that we hadn't been lying. Instead, he seemed to be trying to comprehend what had happened to him and why his memories didn't match ours.
Do you remember touching the Sekimeiya after leaving with Sai, even vaguely? Touching the Sekimeiya with your skin makes it travel to the past. You know that, right?
No, stop. I haven't seen Sai in a while since he left the room, and I haven't touched the Sekimeiya like that either.
That's not true. You admitted to having touched it after we found the Sakuranami.
The second? I have no idea what you're saying. Please shut up. I was seriously staring at him, so I refrained from continuing. 7?
7.
He knew what time it was and didn't remember having touched the Sekimeiya even once. If he was being honest, it indicated that he hadn't traveled far through time. If he had, his internal clock would have differed from ours, and if he'd looked at the time, he would have known it was earlier than it should have been, as he didn't remember the exact moment of the travel. So if his memory issues had been caused by the Sekimeiya, it was unlikely it had been due to traveling farther than I had yet.
I'm sorry, but can you leave me alone? I don't feel well and it's hard to breathe with so many people around.
Song is dying.
It did
Sad?
die. He might not have been aware of how unreasonable his demand was, since he hadn't yet accepted what Erna was going through. His face was identical to the one he'd been making when we'd found him in the bathroom. Maybe he had a tendency to seek solitude when overwhelmed. Erna gave him an immediate wordless response in the form of standing up and moving to the ladder, obviously intent on going up. Alright, let us know if anything comes to you.
Hiro and I followed Akira's request too, and Kate, while he maintained an offended expression full of doubt, joined us at last. He closed the hatch so that anything he said couldn't reach Akira's ears.
Hold on.
I'm holding on for a
Keep holding
hero until the day of
on.
the night.
Yatsuki.
Right, sorry. I was called for a bit.
You're good.
Atsuki, I thought you were a bit smarter than this. Will you really let him trick you so blatantly?
Who was reading?
You.
Oh, the irony of his question was almost nauseating, but I fought back the urge to object to it. I was in no mood for pointless discussion. He sighed and sat on the same bed as Erna, in front of Shiroya and myself. He tried a few propositions until he decided to lean back against the wall.
And we need to leave him, and we need to lead him the entire lower partition so that he doesn't cry. Meanwhile, only God knows what Sai is doing.
Once again, nobody acknowledged Kate's presumptuous and poorly timed jabs. He rolled his eyes, accepting that nobody would humor him. His behavior had clearly changed gradually as time had gone on. While he'd attempted to look composed and firm at the start, he was no longer actively suppressing his anger and frustration. I tried to clear my head a bit. Nothing about Akira or Erna's recent actions made sense, but I know I'd be lost if I tried to tackle those questions. Instead, I went one step back as I realized that I'd missed an important detail during all the fuss.
Akira was able to enter a room on his own, and when he did, we saw that the key was placed in the outer keyhole of the door. Since later, Akira told us that he'd been drawn to the bedroom after getting Kate's knocks, it's very likely that he had the key on himself. Instead, it must have already been placed in the keyhole and used to open the door. This is a solid indicator of how Akira and Sai managed to escape. The door is open from the outside using the key we'd hidden. Of course, it's always possible they left it there to make us think that, but that seems a bit pointless because they didn't hesitate to leave us behind openly telling us that we should suspect them. Once they made it out, they must have the key in the keyhole since they didn't need it for anything else. So,
Outside, help was used to escape, and they accepted it by unsetting the chain. This supports what I thought of earlier, regarding the loop set of actions that they could have fabricated on the spot. They thought of the loop, lured Kate there, and saw that the door had been opened, exited through it, traveled back in time, unlocked the door from the outside, and left the key in the outer keyhole. If the universe accepted this, it was a completely viable way out. In fact, since the door must have been opened from the outside, not much else works. It's very unlikely anyone else could have fulfilled that role, if, after a while, one of us exits the room with the key that Erina has and goes to the past to unlock the door, we'd be creating a causal loop. As the only reason Erina had the key is because someone unlocked the way out for Akro and Sai. So, if someone will go back to the past and unlock the door, for it to be a cohesive travel, that person will have to be unrelated to our imprisonment. And going back to the past will not have had to be a result of our actions after we locked ourselves up, since they're all branching out from the fact that Akro and Sai have left. Of how likely it is that Akro and Sai dealt with the Sekimeiya after escaping, the person who will, or has traveled through time, has to use the Sekimeiya we hid in Nami's locker, as its location has been influenced by the escape.
Lastly, there's a much easier solution, that there was always someone else inside the building that we missed. Just now, Erna acted like she could hear Ayla outside her bedroom, even though nobody else heard anything. If it truly happened, she could have opened a door for Akra and Sai if her existence there wasn't in any capacity derived from their escape. I tried to calm Erna down by saying that nobody was outside, and I thought that it was impossible. However, it shouldn't be. It follows Shiroe's theory from earlier, in fact. If Ayla went weeks back in time, dying in the cabinet must be the final step of her travels. However, she said that her friend would wait for her outside the tower, meaning that right now it's possible that an alive version of Ayla still exists somewhere. And we found a door that might lead outside. We can't open it from here since we have no handle to turn, but the story might be different from the outside. Thinking about it, it is technically possible for anyone to have entered the tower after the last time we did the thorough search. So they could have opened the bedroom's door, of course. They would have required knowledge of what was going inside.
I was so fixated on the thought that Akro and Sai could have retroactively opened the door by the mere fact of having thought of a casual wall aligning with the circumstance. If it was possible, it was a very powerful concept to put into practice, and the only requirement was to probably think of what you had to do. And you only could be seen as sufficient, but I decided to attempt it.
Erina, can you lend me the key for a second?
Why?
What are you doing?
A slight frown also appeared on Shiroya's face in response to my request. I honestly just want to understand how Akra and Sai left. I won't use it.
Then why do you want it?
Because I need to see if what I'm thinking of could work. Technically, if I lied and if it worked, I would end up using the key.
Is it important?
I think so.
Okay, as long as you don't run off with it or anything.
I'll be back in a second.
She gave me the key with her trust. My idea might have been rushed, but that shouldn't have been an issue. Essentially, I want to replicate what I thought Akro and Sai might have done to escape. They hadn't needed to have the key inside since it had been outside the room from the beginning, and they could have used it after traveling. However, if I managed to leave the room after traveling, I couldn't open the door, as the key would be inside with Erina. That wouldn't allow for the loop to work, so I wouldn't be able to exit in the first place.
Hence, my idea had to be shifted a little bit. I would go down and attempt to open the door. If it was open, meaning the loop was completed, I'd leave and the crystal flora would unlock Nomi's locker and activate the Sekimeiya. It was likely I would go back far enough given how long the Sekimeiya would have been there for. Then when the time came, I want to unlock the door from the outside with the key Erna had handed me, allowing the loop to be created.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I just checked the stream manager.
Finally, once my original self left, it reminded edited immediately after having experienced the whole. For them, it would seem as if I haven't gone anywhere.
Inferno, has your voice gotten lower or something?
No?
Doesn't sound that way to me.
Speak again, Inferno.
Yo, it's me, Kartik Luigi.
How do you remember his last name?
Bless you. Bless you.
Another one. Oh,
Bless you.
jeez. Wow, guys, someone entered the stream, looked at it for 2 seconds, and immediately left. Like, instantly.
This?
Like, bro, like, noticed. Guys, we have been getting consistently less people leaving on the stream ever since we got rid of the Subway Surfers. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, jeez.
Can you go on to the next line of dialogue?
Yeah,
Thank
please.
I just. Okay.
7 read.
Okay, sure. I opened the hatch and went down. A little nervous to see if it would work. Akira raised his head, but he didn't say anything until I began to walk toward the door.
Are you leaving?
No idea. If it works, I have no idea. If it works, the door would be very slightly open, enough to allow me to drag it inward. Since Akira had been sitting on the bed the whole time, in the future I would have to open the door very slowly, so that I didn't make noise he could notice. I unset the chain, put 2 fingers in the hole of the door, and dragged it toward me.
You need to use the key.
It didn't budge.
Zen? You're underwater.
Could such a thing really not occur? I sighed and slightly disappointed, and set the chain again.
Now Zen sounds low again. What the heck is going on here?
I think you're weird.
I
I
agree.
also think I'm weird. Okay, this should be better.
Figuring the trick out would have felt like a good progress toward understanding the Sekimeiya, so it was unfortunate that I couldn't know the reason why it hadn't functioned.
Ignore me. Do you remember anything else?
No, and I won't ever, since I have nothing to remember.
If you say so.
I accepted the disclaimer and went back up. Did you find anything out?
I doubt it.
I gave the key back to Aaron and sat where I had been before. I heaved a sigh, ignoring the all looks I received, and wondered if I could work with the result of my little test.
This is really frustrating. There is no way to know why it didn't work. Well, it's very possible that the existence of this kind of loop is impossible, or perhaps willingly creating one is. I can't draw a single conclusion. There are too many factors that could stop the loop from reaching its end, effectively denying its existence. For example, what if Akira was lying to us? He became cautious of my presence as soon as I approached the door. So if I'd gotten it to open, he might have restrained me if what he's after is preventing us from leaving and allowing Sai to roam freely. That could be why he prompted the 4 of us to go up to the top. If he'd done that, I couldn't have proceeded, so the door would have never been opened. Similarly, what if Sai took the Sekimeiya out of Naomi's locker downstairs? I couldn't have used it to go back to the past, yet again, placing another barrier on the loop. Depending on what determines the amount of time traveled, it's possible that activating the Sekimeiya wouldn't have sent me far enough to open the door, and that this problem would have repeated in the future if I tried it again. There are many unknown reasons that could have made the loop an impossibility.
I recognize another.
dog barking.
What the dog doing? You wanna go check on your dog?
No, I can just ask him on, like, by the window.
Okay.
Okay.
I recognized another potential reason that could have interfered with my plan, and it had been a pretty big oversight, as it had to do with the biggest difference between what I had attempted and what I thought Akira and Sai might have done. Right, when Shiro and I traveled from the cleaning room, even though the cart disappeared, it didn't appear in the attic with us, as the bodies we appeared in were most likely identical to how they had been at 1210, when both of us had been in the attic in those same locations.
Interesting.
This means that if I had traveled holding the bedroom key, Chances are I wouldn't have appeared with it in the past. Aqua and Sai wouldn't have encountered that problem since, for them, the key would have always been under the bathroom's carpet. No, that shouldn't have been a problem. I could have used one of the handles we left under the beds. There might have been another screwdriver in the opposite bedroom, and even if there wasn't, putting in the screws without a screwdriver is very easy. Could it be that it wasn't possible because it wasn't a part of the loop that I thought of? Or maybe I just wouldn't have been able to do it without alerting Akira. Or, what if I wouldn't have been able to travel? When we left the Sekimeiya and Naomi's locker, it wasn't working. Perhaps it never started to function again for some reason.
Finally, I thought about the most interesting reason why the loop might not have worked for me, and I was reminded of how messy time travel could become in the blink of an eye. I've already been there for more than 40 minutes, and we think that in some way the location we traveled to is determined by where we were in the recent past. So for example, it's possible I would have gone 30 minutes to the past and appeared where I'd been 15 minutes prior. Since I've been here in both of those time coordinates, I would appear in this bedroom. Even if I appeared with the key on myself, that would have caused a situation that I never experienced. Going to the past would have immediately changed things, overwhelming the way in which I'd gone to the past in the first place. Since if this had happened, the loop would have become impossible. That could have also resulted in my failed attempt. And Alcor and Sai, who'd spend less time in the bedroom and most likely use a different Sekimeiya, might not have faced this issue either. Seven, read.
Okay. For a few minutes, my mind lapsed into silence. I'd managed to ignore how tired I was, but the feeling was starting to kick back in.
Do you think we were only going to read one line or something? What happened?
No, I was just talking to my mom. The four of us kept shifting around, mindlessly looking at the ceiling or at the walls. We were all powerless, and our lack of mutual trust wore us down from constantly being on guard. Well, it's so easy.
I didn't discard my recent thoughts. Aqua and Sai have found a way to escape that involved outside help. Furthermore, if Akuro below us wasn't acting, he must have undergone what had caused his memories to differ from ours. The more I thought about it, the more I realized how powerful it would be if you could create loops that ensured your success from the beginning. The culprit we'd chased behind could have taken advantage of it, making sure that their movements would always work. It's bizarre, but if you understand how the Sekimeiya works thoroughly, you could abuse this concept to a very high extent. You went across a hall? Oh, that's not me, actually.
It's not. In fact, read, white boy, read.
It's bizarre, but if you understand how this game works thoroughly, you could abuse the concept to a very high extent. You walk across the hallway full of doors and deadly traps, but you can think of many ways to do it and you're not sure which one will work. With the Sekimeiya, if we could be the creator of a casual loops, assuring success in these situations would be a way to use them.
It's causal.
You could think, I will try doors 1, 3, and 5, and then I'll walk touching the right wall. After I make it across, I will go around from the outside and leave a mark behind the door to this place. If you look further, you leave a mark and find it. You know that arrangement of doors movements will work. If the mark isn't there, you'll know you will die midway, rendering you unable to leave the mark. You can keep thinking of different arrangements until the mark appears. Since you only move forth once you see the mark, it's an effective strap. Since the end result is what allows it to happen. But despite being a paradox, there's actually an origin to it. Excuse me.
Excuse me?
Even in this extreme situation, it can apply in any circumstance because it removes the generalized risk associated with going back to the past. Regardless of the circumstances, you can think of something up in your head. If it'll work, you'll see the successful result, and if it won't, nothing will happen. You will be guaranteed to never fail, no matter what you attempt. The killer could have used this method before killing Naomi. if I move this specific way after killing her, I'm not seen, I'll let my current self know by leaving a drawer next room open, for example. Another big advantage is that you'd be able to make any move that's currently hard to accomplish by deciding it to occur retroactively. At some point, the killer might not have wanted us to enter a room. However, they couldn't go back and lock it, or they would have been seen. The solution would have been to decide, in the future, I'll immediately go to the past and lock it, so it's already locked now. This doesn't have to be a bootstrap paradox, but it's fundamentally very similar to what I'm thinking. Interesting.
Depending on how it works, the possibilities could be limitless. There's an even higher step to reach. It's considerably different, but it follows along a few things I thought about earlier, regarding the date displayed on Sai's watch. Out of countless examples, could you go back in time and trade information with someone, write it all down, and leave it all in a note you'd see before traveling through time? Oh, this is actually starting to hurt my brain a little. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
Okay. I love Kohaku.
I agree.
I'm gonna play the old
Kohaku.
Sekimeiya just so I can romance her and do her.
Kohaku-san is gaming.
Can you romance Kohaku? Sekimeiya. Zen is fucking dead, dude. We will never see
Yeah.
that man again. Well, you know what we do in these situations? Let's see.
I'm back.
Oh,
I got
the second I say
myself
that.
some watermelon. Is everyone here?
Yeah, we are
No.
here.
Okay. You'd read the note and go back to the past. However, since you would already know the contents of it, you would have no reason to exchange the information. All you'd have to do would be to leave behind the note you'd read so that you could read it before traveling. The note itself would be a paradox that you caused. But was the past truly changed? Was the past in which you exchanged information truly overwritten? Or did it never exist in the first place? If Sai's watch got to 9999 by spending infinite time in a loop, did the pasts in which the time counted up to that date really exist in any capacity?
If I know it's you actually. Go, like boy.
Oh, right. Hold on.
Go.
The final step is one I'm not willing to accept. Could you witness a very smoothly committed crime, decide that you were the perpetrator, and go back to the past and replicate it? The loops until now always had some origin to them, but this one doesn't. It defies causality very firmly. However, that would be possible. Oh no, wait. However, what would be possible would be to go back in time, prevent the real perpetrator from committing the crime, and then replicate it from it being certain of your success. That's just the way to use a time travel device.
The Sekimeiya must operate on one of these levels. The lowest being thought up loops that are impossible. If this is the case, Akira and Sai must have received outside help from a third party. Level 1. Using a loop they created mentally would have allowed them to escape on their own in the way they've been thinking about. Level 2 would complicate things, and it's more of an interesting concept than anything. The recorder Nilo's first made me think that there are some possible benefits of staying here for a much longer time, even though at first it seemed incredibly negative. If I found it a very important reason to stay, and the method to accomplish it, probably through the security room's computer, I could grab the recorder, go back to the past with it, and place it in Isla's purse for the sole purpose of reproducing everything exactly and get to the point when the shot decides to turn it into reality. That would be level 2. For now, I'll ignore it. Would I send the recorder back in time to reproduce everything instead of writing a note that details it all thoroughly, purely because I didn't live that? That's ridiculous.
Excuse me? Okay. Even though level 1 appears to have endless applications, there should be a daunting barrier to cross. The memories of the person who thinks of the loop. The person would always have to work around the past that they remember. Let's say the culprit wanted to kill someone in the event room, and then had to choose between hallways A and B to escape. These loops always entail going back to the past. If the culprit had seen the hallway A empty after the point Naomi would be killed, later, when they thought that they had to create the loop, they knew that they couldn't use hallway A. If instead they'd seen hallways A and B empty, they would have put themselves in a corner and would be unable to create a loop in which they escaped successfully. It sounds a bit crazy. It doesn't matter if they saw these hallways empty, if they hadn't looked at them, they still would have been empty.
What did they
I
mean
don't
by
get
this? I don't get it either. Hold on. Huh? What the fuck does this mean?
It means you're gay.
Inferno, do you get what this guy's talking about?
No.
Sort of, but not really. For the last 15 minutes, he's been talking about the possibility of creating a time loop just by imagining it.
I mean,
basically.
that makes sense. I get that part. But this thing, this specific part, is what confused me quite a bit. The memories of the person who thinks the loop.
Oh yeah. Why couldn't they use hallway A?
If it's empty, that means that there are no people in it, right? What's going on here? What?
I don't get it.
The hallway empty. What does the hallway being empty imply? What's the implication of the hallway being empty?
That's empty.
Oh, what does that mean though?
That part doesn't matter. That's just it being it's being an example.
Okay, whatever. Inferno, were you reading this? Who was reading this?
No, I was.
Zen.
That's not the case, though. That logic clashes with the most important part of this concept, that the origin of the loop is the mind of the person who will execute it.
Inferno?
Oh, sorry. Both hallways were empty. Why hadn't the corpse seen their future self escaping through one of them? The reason is that seeing their escape route would have told them that the plan they later think I meant the origin would have disappeared. So one would never see a result of a future loop before having thought of it, as that could induce a highly influences creation, whereas only in the classic bootstrap they thought of the loop because they had experienced it. If the culprit is operating under this knowledge, that'd be a very good reason to stay hidden. If instead they had spent time in front of all the security screens learning what the current real-time applies to the building, whenever they needed to make a retracted move, their own memories of all the empty places would have been the only barrier preventing them from accomplishing it. Of course,
God, my
also,
head hurts.
this is also because the past can be changed, so in short, if they observe too much, they wouldn't make any future loop impossible, or as they would never see a loop in action before thinking of it. What it basically boils down to is that in some instances, having a lack of knowledge could actually be more beneficial than knowing everything. It was a very intriguing concept, but nothing assured me it was applicable. I was still a bit upset that I had no indication of what my plan hadn't worked. Would it have worked if I could slide the key under the door and wait a few minutes before trying to leave? That would have matched awkward. No wait, this is not me, this is 7!
This is 7, yeah.
It was a very intriguing concept, but nothing assured me that it was applicable. I was a bit upset that I had no indication of why my plan hadn't worked. Would it work if I could slide the key under the door and wait a few minutes before trying to leave? I would have matched Dr. Onsai's circumstances more closely. But it could have led into even more reasons behind the failure. For example, Sai could have taken the key from under the door if they'd been nearby. I wasn't sure what to do or think.
There might have been an indication of how the loops are handled already. Technically, the first time I traveled to the past, I might have created a bootstrap unconsciously. From room B, I traveled 20 minutes to the past. I didn't know what had happened, so I ended up taking the elevator to the 6th floor. That action made our original selves follow the elevator up. Eventually, it all led to me traveling through time. If I hadn't gone up with the elevator, things might have played out considerably differently. It would have remained on floor 4 and everyone else's thoughts would have varied. In short, if I hadn't gone up, it's possible I wouldn't have ended up traveling to the past. Hence, traveling to the past in a way is what led me to traveling to the past.
What is he talking about?
I'm not sure what that last part means. I'm not sure if it was a bootstrap, but what's certain is that I didn't intend for it to occur. By traveling, I merely finished up the past that had already taken place. Inferno.
Hold on, I'm trying to like figure out what they're talking about, but I can't.
Me neither. I honestly have no idea what they're saying right now.
I need some water.
Same.
Okay. Go drink
Hey,
some
Zan,
water.
wanna see a piece of cool mill art?
Sure.
Hold on, where did I put it?
These are my thoughts. I was getting dizzy. The minutes I kept passing it, I expected nothing had occurred.
Okay, I found it.
We were facing a dilemma regarding Sai. We knew he was probably still down there, but we didn't know where or whether following him was what he wanted. He might intended to disrupt the piece as much as he might have wanted to experiment with the Sekimeiya to follow along with its bigger plan. Ultimately, we had once again decided to continue staying locked up because of Erin's input. Chapter 1 end?
Right?
No!
Oh
Nope.
my god.
Nope.
This is so sad.
7.
The chapter 1 never ends.
The end is never the end.
The end is never, the end is never, the end is never, the end is never, the... Stanley came upon a set of 2 open doors. He opened the door on his left. My thoughts had trailed off when we were revived by Nashiro Jean. The silence had become unsettling, as it had gone on for more than 30 minutes since we left Akira below. Is that when are we gonna stream start?
I don't know. Inferno?
Hold on.
Okay.
Are you guys really fine with this?
Kate took my renewed awareness and as a chance to question our actions again.
Leaving Sai, run free, and ignoring Akira's obvious lie. Don't you understand understand they set this up? Akira's just making sure we don't head down. Why else would he come back?
Don't you think that if that was what he wanted, he couldn't have chosen to tell us such a ridiculous story?
Of course I don't. Before they left, they made up this whole scenario where they were the mastermind. I'm betting they thought of this. Akira has lost his memory story precisely to make us think it's too ridiculous to be a lie.
Well, if you want to leave, you're alone on that. We've already decided what we'll do. He glared at me with an incensed look and attempted to calm himself.
He didn't insist further before closing his eyes again. I thought he had given up, but not long after he opened his mouth again.
Fine, stay here if you want, but unlike you, I won't let anyone laugh in my face like Akira is doing right now.
With
Ow.
3 silent... What happened?
I hit my foot on the
This is so sad.
desk.
How does that even happen?
I don't know.
With 3 silent pairs of eyes looking at him, he approached the hatch and opened it. He roughly climbed the ladder, not letting go of his indignation for 1 second. We returned our gazes to where they had been, intending to continue letting time pass quietly.
Small cottage?
Small text?
Small text?
We never see that.
True. Inferno, you have to. I'm gonna lower your voice before you say it, alright? Because it's small. Okay, now say it.
Okay. What a joke.
Okay, now I can bring it back up. That was a very dumb bit. I could barely hear you. Oh. Inferno?
Yeah?
Read.
I'm here. What the?
Still your line.
What a joke. Atsuki, come here.
Okay, now we're back.
Kate's voice boomed through the open hatch. Shiro and Erina looked at me in search of my reaction. I simply sighed and stood up. This is Inferno.
Right. I mimicked Kate's actions and climbed down. Upon stepping off the ladder, it didn't take me even half a second to comprehend Kate's shout.
Akaro is gone.
Well, this is just great.
Stop messing around. Perhaps the 2 of them weren't so far off the mark earlier. With intrigued look, Shiro and Erina peeked through the hatch. From it, they could see the empty room around Kate and
Akira's gonna be like in like 10 minutes. He's sorry guys. I have a bit of a constipation today. I went to the bathroom. I went to the restroom. That's why I was gone.
Is he gone again?
Oh gee.
1 sec.
Technically, it's been like 10 seconds.
Shut up. Well, he's not here, so yes! I rubbed my eyes at Kate's obnoxious voice. Meanwhile, I got closer to the door as he confirmed that Akira wasn't anywhere.
The chain is still set. That's strange.
Strange? No, Atsuki, you really screwed up this time.
Seven.
From Shiroya's face, I could tell she and I knew word by word that the accusation Kate was about to make.
What's strange is what you did earlier. You took the key from Aaron, I came here and unlocked the door for Akuro. Then you set the chain.
When the hell would I do that?
To let him escape, idiot!
Wasn't he the one who decided to come in the first place?
Yes, it appears both of you aren't quite on the bright side. If I'm wrong, go ahead and illuminate us. Why did you want the key?
To see if I could retroactively open the door.
You think you're smart, don't you? You have gone too far. It seems that Atsuki, Akura, and Sai were working together the whole time. Shiroi, are you part of the group too?
Instead of answering, she came down, followed by Erna. She looked around, but Akira wasn't anywhere. He disappeared without leaving a trace, as if he'd been an illusion from the start.
Wait, Kate Angry Sprite.
Rare. Is that new?
We've seen that before.
I don't remember it, honestly. At the same time, I couldn't blame Kate that much for suspecting me. I understood how questionable my actions must have looked.
Anyway, this is more than enough. We're leaving. Atsuki, this time the camera clearly recorded your actions when you let Akura escape. Don't think this will go unpunished.
The camera recorded you guys. Oh shit, how could I have forgotten about it?
I had to stop taking him seriously, as that would eventually drive me insane. He pushed me aside, unzipped the chain, and then tried to open the door, but only met with failure.
Alright, Erna, we've tried your suggestion, but it's not going to work if half of us have different intentions. We need to go find Akura inside. We can't even trust these two kids.
I didn't feel like giving my input, so I remained quiet. So did Erna, who looked down uncertainly.
Enough already! Only in the pocket in which she'd hidden the key, Kati suddenly reached inside and retrieved it at the cost of starting her. Without reacting further, she stayed immobile, watching him insert the key into the door.
Jesus Christ, Kate, her child is dead. Leave her alone, for God's sake.
With abrupt and stiff motion, he turned in and dragged the door open. Without looking back, he walked away. He opted not to lock us inside and kept the door as it was. None of us said anything or looked at each other. Instead, against my own expectations, Erina walked forward and exited the room too.
Then Shiroi and I exchanged looks. She gave me a bitter smile that I replied to with a long sigh. I estimated it must have been around 16:20, meaning that less than 5 hours remained until our scheduled freedom. We stayed still for a few seconds, contemplating the open door in front of us that symbolized our utter failure to keep everyone in one place.
I'm guessing you want to try to see if Akira and Sai could have escaped alone?
Yes, it didn't work though.
I figured. Maybe we really missed a hidden person then.
Maybe.
Seven.
I shrugged lightly. Sorry, I forgot. I'm stupid. Alzheimer's.
Or
I shrugged lightly. I didn't know how else to approach their disappearance. Well, do you want to stay here?
I'm not sure. First, we should fix that.
She pointed at the handleless door. The handle should have been still under the bed over the other bedroom. Right, we shouldn't keep it attached.
Hold on, good song to learn?
Let me crank that shit up.
Ow!
Did you do it again?
Yes.
That's insane.
Should we stop here? It's been more like that 2 hours.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours and 10 minutes.
We can stop if you guys want, yeah.
Yeah, I want to
I
stop.
don't mind, but sure.
Okay. At this point, I have no idea what's going on.
Me neither.
At least we got out of the room, so...
Yeah, this whole session today was just us being in the funny room.
Yeah.
Well, we're back on the title screen. It is how it is. Gonna stop the stream now, I think. It is how it is. See, normally I would say we should switch memes every 2 streams, but we already switched the staring kate to the clown kate, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess that's gonna stay for 1 more stream. Anyway. It is time for us to stop streaming. GG's.